Hello, my name is Mokai Doshan, and today I'm going to talk about the future of e-government. So I choose this article for my classroom assignment, and the article is published by Elsevier. In front of me, there's a laptop, and I will use this as a note purposes. So let's start with the first question. What is e-government? E-government means a government using technology and internet in order to govern more efficiently. And it is the future. So let's start. So how can e-governments difference from a traditional governments at the moment is that e-government uses a shift from paper-based bureaucracy to technological bureaucracy. It's mean everything we do, we can get the services from the government through online. And nowadays, there are some countries that have been using e-government very efficiently, Estonia, Singapore, and India. So let's start with how e-government is processing and how it is built. So there are four pillars of e-government. The four pillars are very important thing on how e-government is operating. For number one is called e-administration and e-policy, e-services, and e-democracy. So what is e-administration? It's mean we can use the government through online in order to file a tax, let's say, or we can do digital contracts for our like properties or urban designs. These can be done through online in an e-government country. And they're also called e-services, which citizens can get the government services through online, like healthcare, and then business registration, and we can get a digital ID through online. Another number three is e-democracy, which means we can vote the government through online. And I think this is really cool because in e-democracy, it's main the government and the country, the society is built on trust. So even the people, the citizen can vote through online. It's mean the blockchain and how this structure must be built have to be very trustworthy in order to do this. And I think this is really amazing. And this is one of my favorite point of e-government. And number four is e-policy. It's like we use AI and data-driven machine-based decision making, like predictive urban planning or traffic optimization, which means we use technology to optimize and control, or we can predict how things gonna turn out. So these are the four pillars of e-government, and I think they are really amazing. So let's talk about Estonia. So in Estonia is a very country in Europe that use e-government very widely, and their countries have been developing very well. If a person in Estonia wanted a service, they could do it from online. They can file a tax just in 6 steps, 6 touch on our mobile phone. It can be done in 2 or 3 minutes. I think this is really amazing because let's say, for example, in a country like United States of America, it take a complicated process in order to file a tax. It take accountant, it take a lot of time, and it take a lot of energy in order to organize a tax report. But in Estonia, it only take a few minutes. So I think this is really cool and very energy efficient. In order to build an e-government in a country, it takes around 1.5 billion United States dollars to $2 billion, depending on the current application of digital literacy. And so let's continue on my critical analysis. Previously, I mentioned to you guys about how e-government is running, and I dive a little bit into this topic. So let's talk about critical analysis. So in e-government, there are strengths and challenges. So let's start with the strengths. It removes corruption. How? Because in e-governments, everything must be done through online. So an officer cannot charge a citizen without letting the system know. So everything can be paid online. when we do something wrong and we have to pay for the fine, we have to pay through online. So it removes corruption, and I think this one is really, really amazing, and this creates trust in society, and I really like these points. And then it saves costs. So initially, when we dive deep into e-government, it takes a lot of money in order to build this efficient system. But for the long run, this is very useful, and it can be time saving and energy efficient. Also, for the entirety of future, it really saves a lot of money in the long run. I think this one is really, really cool, and I really think it's a very good point. So let's dive deep a little bit into the weaknesses of e-government. So number one is cybersecurity, because it's an online digital system, and if the country was in a war with another country, there could be cyber warfare that are very dangerous and data theft. Another person could hack into this system and then make harmful choices for a particular person or people collectively. So this is quite dangerous, but we must be very careful when we build in the system. So another number two is it is about privacy concerns, which means that a citizen, an individual, could be worried that the government have all this information about them very easily. Is very, very concerning that the the country have a lot of power over the citizens, because they know all the information about oneself. So I think this is a little bit concerning, but it could be changed and it could be effective through be becoming more trustworthy as an individual. And so for the conclusion, I think that e-government is the future and we must adapt to it. And I think it is really, really amazing and really efficient. And I think in the future, business will use e-government a lot, because in the future, one business want to get a license, we have to get it through online. And when we want to file a tax, it could be through online. If we want to get a digital ID, it could be done through online. So this is really important for the business environment too. And then I think my favorite thing about this e-government is how Estonia become a no corruption country. Corruption is gone away, which means the citizens trust each other more, and the legitimacy, and also how the police and how administration power is controlled under a good rule. And I think this is very efficient and amazing. Thank you for listening, and this is an article called The Future of E-Government, published by Elsevier. Thank you.